down with a fighter's voice.
Well, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Strap up, put your mouthpiece on, and get ready to be knocked out. Are you ready for the hottest show, The Fighter's Voice, with your host, Richard Ortiz, and the hottest redhead, Carol, the cut woman, Saragusa. We're just knocking out the competition only on The Fighter's Voice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. The Fighter's Voice.
Hey, we're live, ladies and gentlemen, from Mad Production Studios. I'm your host, Rich Ortiz, with a Fighter's Voice KO podcast. That's my man, KP. KP's making me laugh today because I sent him an email today. He said he got it, but he didn't. The man's just overwhelmed. You got to know that our producer, our engineer, he goes to Hollywood. He shoots commercials. He's a stuntman, and he's the official engineer of the Fighter's Voice Knockout podcast and also the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you today. We got a recap on the one and only Triple G on the fight and how it went down. Did he get the decision? Yes, of course he did. Did he deserve it? That's the question. Are we going to run it back? I don't know. Maybe we will. And you know what? I want some comments from all the viewers, the fans, because we're going to give some tickets away. Because this Friday, Fresno, California, the hottest amateur show in the Valley, the No Town Throwdown 2. In Fresno, California. I'm going to give you the address in a little bit because I have it on my phone right now. Oh, as you can see the poster right there, it says it all. So in studio, we have with us the promoter of this awesome event, Mr. Ernie Hyman. We also have the main event, Jesus Haro. He's going to be putting everything on the line, showing you all his attributes, his talent, his wisdom, his tenacity in the ring. It's going to be crazy. And of course, the second half of the show, we have the one, the only, the young phenom, Jenna the Jam herself. She's running it back. The rematch. Everybody heard she took her first loss last Sunday at a bout that was done at the fairgrounds last Sunday. It was about Millions Promotions, I believe, or Rick Merigian, one of those two. They put their heads together and they made it happen with was it Al Heyman or Frank Alamon? Something like that, man. I don't. Who was it, Ernie?
I think it was About Millions.
Yeah, it was About Millions. Yeah. I heard Al Heyman had something to do with it. I don't know because it was just taken off because there was like 5,000 people there in the fair. So I guess they didn't go watch the concert. They were watching the boxing, which is the sweet science, which is the sport, and that is why we are here. Enough said. I want to introduce our guest, the one, the only, the young man himself. He's going to have Golden Boy after him. He's going to have Top Rank. He's going to have Al Heyman. He's going to have Goose, and everybody's going to want a piece of this kid, and that's Jesus Haro. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Pleasure. It's okay to speak up in the mic, man. It doesn't swing at you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you guys doing this for me. Thank you, Ernie, for putting the show together. I really can't wait for it to go down. I'm super excited. I can't wait for everybody to show up, come show some support to me and Fresno's law enforcement.
Exactly. And let's talk about that cause. And I'm going to talk about that cause in the whole event with the promoter himself, Ernie Hyman. Hyman, you've had a couple shows already. I believe it's 2. This is show number 3.
Actually, it's fourth one.
Fourth one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fourth one. I stand corrected.
Okay, no problem.
Because you did put on some shows that were, done in the alley. Nobody was there, but there were some fights there. I mean, the neighbors were watching, and you just knew it was in your bloodstream, and this is what you do. But no, they've been very successful. They've been all sellout shows.
Thank you.
Getting good feedback from the public, and it's been in high demand. Hey, when are we doing it again? So talk to us about this show.
Okay, so this is the No Town Throwdown 2, and all our shows are a law enforcement fundraiser theme. So what happens is we get A side will be officers, B side will be USA Boxers. Okay, so and it's all for a good cause. This time it's going to be breast cancer awareness, and what we also do is again, I failed to mention, this is brought to you by Fresno County Public Safety Association. And what we do is we give out boxing scholarships to inner city kids. So we'll do about 8 or 9 of those, about $300 scholarships that go back into the community.
Right.
And so what's going on this time, Rich, is this is our biggest show ever, by far. And by the way, I'll announce it here. It's sold out. So the show is sold out.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. You promised me 2 tickets to give away. So it's sold out, but we have those 2 tickets, right, to give away?
I got 4 tickets for you.
Oh, great. Well, we got to come up with some kind of enthusiasm to give them out. I don't just want to give them out. They got to earn them, especially that it's sold out.
Right. So, and of course we have Harles here, number one ranked in USA. We have to thank him for being on the show. It's an honor to have him.
Yes, it is.
And as you just mentioned right now, as of this morning, last night we added another fight, and that's Jenna the Phenom against Magali Perez, and that is something where that's going to be special as well. So that's going to be the co-main, and of course Harles will be the main. It's a sold-out event. Most of it, and you know this, Rich. Most of the shows are like a pro atmosphere.
Yes,
and it just an amateur show. But we can't wait. 7 o'clock. Doors open up at 6. 7 o'clock. 1635 East Street, downtown Fresno. And they're just going to strap it up and let's have a good time
and let it go. Yep. Let it go. Hey, we also got on the line. We got Coach Marcos. Marcos, you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
How are we doing, my man? How's everything going? You know what? Tell everybody where you're at right now and what you're doing.
I'm over here at the Eastern Qualifier in Ohio, Columbus. At the moment right now, I got a couple fighters fighting. I got 2 of my little fighters. They just won the first round, and we fight tomorrow again. But, yeah, so far so good.
I mean, you're just a committed, dedicated coach, man. And we were talking about this earlier because you said, Rich, how could I be at 2 places at one? And I said, you can. So you called in, you're here, and we got your young pupil right here, Mr. Jesus Haro, man. I mean, what advice do you usually offer him, and what advice are you going to give to him? Because I'm sure you're going to talk before he walks into the ring Friday night. And what is that advice? Go ahead and share it with all of us.
Well, I've had Jesse since he was 8 years old, so we've been through a lot of wars together. So, he pretty much knows what to do. Obviously, I'm not there to give that extra push for him. But for the most part, just stay focused and just keep on doing what we've been doing all these years, and he'll be all right.
When you worked with him at 8 years old, when did you have that talk with Dad and say, you know what, this kid's special?
Well, actually, he was at the time he was looking for another coach, at the time, and then I seen Jesse, and I talked to his dad, and I told him, I'd like to work with Jesse if you ever, need another coach or something like that. At the time, he was, looking for another coach, and then I'm like, I offered it to him. I go, I wouldn't mind, working with him. I see a lot of good things I could, develop, what he already has.
Yeah.
And then it was like a week later, he gave me a call. Hey, man, can you work with my boy? I'm like, hey, man. For sure, and the rest is history.
Yeah, as they say. So how was that transition? Because I'm sure you were working with Pops first, and then Pops said, "Hey, you know what? I need you to work with Coach Marcos." And how'd you make that transition? I know you're still young, but still, from like getting used to certain instruction, and then you got different instruction. Yes. How was that for you?
Yes, it was like a good change.
Okay.
We got to go to new places because before we never really got to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Now we get to go like all over the United States and compete. I feel really blessed to have Marcos and my dad with me because I know not a lot of kids have that kind of guidance with them, and I just really appreciate what they do for me. And I just keep working hard,
So what does it do for you? Once once that bell rings and you got a corner, a team like the way you do, yes. You don't even have to worry about that part. So what does it do for you? Does it give you that extra boost? Does it just say, okay, I don't have to worry about it, I'm just taking care of business in the ring? What exactly does it do for you?
Yeah, before my fights, I always stay focused, So, like, not having Marcos in my corner, it's a little different, Like, because we always go to tournaments together. My dad, he's been in my corner many times also. So, I am used to it. Switching, they're switching positions, and it's nothing different. I always got to stay focused. Always work hard with either one of them. And just do what I do inside the ring. Come out win or lose. Always stay humble. Always stay focused. Stay dedicated still, and I don't ever let a loss define me.
Exactly. So making that transition this Friday is no biggie for you. Something that you can handle, something that you're used to, and all the experience you have, you're ready to go. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Well, I said it for you. Is it safe to say, my man?
Yes.
Hey, listen, I got to talk to you about this. Not only are you blinging with a gold chain, but even your braces are blinging, man. Check that out, KP. Get a close-up on that. Look at that right there, man. Boom. They look like diamonds from here, man. I was thinking, man, did someone sign you already, or what's going on here, man?
No, not yet.
Soon, right? Ernie, I got to ask you this. You have your selection of fighters. You can get the who's who to headline. Why Jesus Haro?
You know what, and that's a good question. And every show we want something bigger and better, and that's just the natural progression of a promoter. You start from here and you want to end up there. And you actually gave me the name. Hey, this is a person, that individual that it's not only a good fighter in the ring but outside the ring, and that's what we look for too as well. Giving back to the community, we're always looking for someone, and he's exemplified that big time. And we have to thank you for that. But that's what we're looking for. You gave me his number, talked to his dad, and it was a go. We met for dinner, and I liked everything about what he was doing with his son, how he's going to go about it, and so here we are.
And you know what? I will say this, because the president, Larry Gomez, I mean, he is a workaholic. He's constantly working. At the end of the day, you can bring him an idea unless he okays it. I mean, it's not a done deal. But see, he wants a champion inside and out of the ring. So for him to, because he knows that fighter's representing the brand, everything, the whole announcement, the whole cause. And for him to say, okay, stamp of approval, that says a lot too. Because we've talked, and we won't mention names on camera, but the boss man said, we'll pass on that one, or not right now.
Right.
But as soon as he did his background with Harl, he said, hey, let's close the deal.
Yeah, it was a done deal. Like I said, we had met for dinner, and right there and then we talked to his dad, Jesse, and says, hey, let's do this. And before I even go on a little bit more, Rich, I got to give you props, man. You're grinding. You're still doing this. You're the only one doing it now. And I like where you're at now, and everything about where you've been and where you're going. And especially you always representing the Valley, always representing Fresno. And I just want to give you those props, brother.
I appreciate that, man. We got a great team here. The Fighters Voice Service, we got a great team. Cole Escovedo, Carol, the Cut Woman. We got KP. Mark Davis, now our official photographer. We got Shelly in Stockton. And we're out there grinding, trying to make it happen, man, because they're just not going to knock on your door. You got to go knocking on their door. Be persistent, but don't be annoying.
Yeah,
right?
It's the ultimate team. It's a team, and that's what you mentioned. Larry's he's a workaholic. He's always working. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be here tonight, but he's in a meeting, and so
grinding.
Yeah, he's grinding.
Grinding.
And I can honestly say, there's no one that's going to give back to the community more than Larry.
And he's been showing that. And also, I got to mention Bobby. I was just talking my head off outside. He's running for office here in Fresno, California. And we wish him well. We're going to proudly endorse his run in his campaign in the whole nine. I want to say this, and I want to refer this question to Coach. Coach, I know you're still there.
Yes, sir.
You know what? We talked about a workaholic. I mean, you have your pupil here, and then yet you're where exactly are you at? Ohio?
Ohio, yeah, Columbus. Ohio.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. I mean, when does it stop for you? I mean, because boxing doesn't have a season. It just has openings. Tell us about how committed you are, and what's your day like?
Well, I'm very committed. I just want to give the opportunity to each of my fighters, where they got that opportunity so they could fight for a national tournament. And I know a lot of coaches don't have maybe the, support like that. And it's hard for everybody because everybody has like a regular 9-to-5 job and they have like a company job. But I dedicated myself where I got a job. I don't have a regular job where, I get benefits and, 401k and dental plan. I don't have that stuff.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice, but that's why I sacrificed myself so I could give my kids a chance and an opportunity, so I could travel with them and we could compete at these tournaments, and they could have so they could be a Jesse Harl.
Exactly.
So that's why you gotta sometimes gamble and do what you love, and it's a sacrifice. That's in life. And I tell all my kids when they fight and sometimes they lose, sometimes they win. I tell them, you know what? Whatever you do in life, and you want to be the top, and whatever it is you do, you're gonna have to sacrifice and push yourself. And there's gonna be moments that it's gonna be happy moments, but it's gonna test you. Whatever it is, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is you're gonna do, you're gonna have to sacrifice whatever it is you're gonna do. So nothing's easy. Success is not gonna be easy.
No, it's not. Even if you want to be a radio host, you got to sacrifice.
Whatever it is,
right?
If you want to be the top. Whatever it is you want to do, you're gonna have to put in work.
Exactly.
You cannot escape success.
No, man, it'll find you and make you grind, and it's not going to give it to you easily.
So I'm doing the same thing myself. I'm grinding my way, giving these kids opportunities. I don't have that regular, company job, but I have a job where I'm making, so I could pay the bills.
Yeah.
but I took myself so I could give my kids, all my fighters, this opportunity. So when they need to go compete, I'm there for them.
Well, you know what? It sounds like you're doing a great job, and Coach, you
Yeah.
know, I really don't want to keep you because I know you got a job to finish. And you know what?
Yeah, for
and
sure,
this is what I want to do. Let me know how you guys do. And when you come back, I want to book you within the next week and a half. Talk to us about the experience. I want you to come in studio though, and then we'll
Oh, yeah,
talk.
for sure.
We'll talk about it, man. And because it sounds
Oh,
like you got
thanks.
a great story. And I don't want to start something we can't finish, man. 'Cause,
No, for sure, man. Thank you.
No,
I appreciate you having me.
Oh, hey, my pleasure. What's the time difference? Same time, right?
Oh, three hours difference. We're ahead 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you get back, Coach. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule,
All right.
talk to your people, talking to the promoter, and also giving us a voice here on The Fighter's Voice, my man.
Fire voice. There you go. Thanks a lot. Thanks
Okay,
for having
I'll
me.
talk to you later. All right, Coach.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Man, your coach, to take time out of his busy schedule, he has 2 kids that he's with right now, 3 hours ahead of time, and to come on here and talk highly of you, highly of the sport, and also this big event. Because when I was talking to him off the air, he was more concerned, like, man, I wish I can be at 2 places at once, but I can't. He said, they need me. He's going to be okay. Jesus going to be okay. He's been experienced. There's been times when I'm not always there. And, yeah, he had full confidence he can take care of business, man.
Yes. Yeah, it just takes a lot of hard work, you know, to be, like, for him to be comfortable that way.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta, you know, always stay on top, stay in shape so that, you know, he wouldn't have to worry.
Yeah.
You know.
So what weight will you be competing at come Friday?
What was that?
What your weight? What will you be
my
competing
weight?
at? Yeah.
I will be fighting at 106.
106?
Yes.
The main event. The main event. Are you ready to hear that? The main event of the evening?
Yep.
It's going to go down, man. It's going to go down.
I can't wait.
I know, man. Whoever that ring announcer is, that whole resume they got to read of all your accomplishments, I mean, it's going to be there like forever.
Yeah,
so
they're gonna
they're
be
probably
there
just going to have to
forever.
take the highlight. They are going to be there forever, huh? They're going to be talking about all your day ones, man, and your diamonds in your mouth and all that good stuff, man. But no, all joking aside, so when you're not boxing, when you're not listening to your dad doing chores, when are you the kid? When are you the young man that gets to do something outside of boxing? That's what I want to know. And what do you do?
On the weekends, I usually just hang out with my brother or
Okay.
just hang out with my family, like in general. Like my cousins, they come spend the night at my house. We have fun. We watch movies, watch like scary movies and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, play video games and stuff like that. You know, I enjoy those moments too.
Yeah, I mean, do you like going on roller coasters? You like Disneyland?
Yes.
You like movies? Or I want to hear the kid stuff, man.
Yeah, I love roller coasters and I love movies.
Well, that's a good combination. And how about like when you're in class and you're done with your homework, and you know that certain someone passes by, and does she kind of get your attention too? You kind of make a little left and say, "All right, nice."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Hey, that's part of it, man. That keeps you grinding. That keeps you going.
Yeah.
Besides pops, besides coach, and besides just enjoying the sport, what gets you to that next level? What makes you grind?
The support I have, my city, Merced, California. You know, I always because there's not a lot of like famous people that come out of there. So I'm like, okay, I want to be like the top person there. I want to show the city like what I can do.
What professional boxer influences you, motivates you?
Probably Roman Gonzalez.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go, man.
Chocolatito. He's
yeah,
little.
yeah,
you
no,
know.
yeah. I mean, he has hands, great footwork.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot just yet. I got to go with promoter Ernie. Ernie, I know you watched the Triple G fight.
Yeah.
A little bit of controversy.
Sure.
And we actually talked about who won and who didn't. I haven't had a chance to watch that over again. So
Right.
talk to us about your assessment on how it went down and how do you think? Do you see Triple G's future? Where do you see it going from here?
The fight itself, I really thought, and I think like we talked about before, I thought Sergey beat him. I really did. I like you, I haven't watched it again.
Yeah.
But I think Father Time's catching up with Triple G as well. You know, he's getting older, and he doesn't look as fluid as what we're accustomed to. You know, I know he's been in 2 wars with Canelo,
Yeah.
and that can take a lot out of you, as it looked like to me. But I think his time may be up here soon. Like I said, I really thought that his opponent beat him.
I believe, was he 37
Yeah,
years
I
old?
think it is 37.
Yeah,
Yeah,
37 years
Yeah.
old. Did you have a chance to watch the fight?
Not really, because I was at a Sweet 16 party.
Like
Yeah.
I said, that one person in the classroom passed by, huh? And you just had to kind of, okay. There you go.
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it, but from the looks of it, looks like Sergey was.
So what
winning.
did Pops say? Did Pops watch the fight?
Yes.
He did? What did he say?
He said that Triple G had lost. He thought he
Oh,
lost.
did he?
Yeah.
Hey, gee, I guess I'm the only one repping here. You know what I mean? I mean, I thought you pulled it off. I thought you did enough to win, but you know what? I got to be honest. I got to watch it again. Because when I was watching it, I was like, come on. I was rooting for you, man, from day 1 to the round 1, all the way to round 12. I thought the other cat did out-hustle him in a couple rounds, but I'd like to watch it again. I'm honest to myself. And if I think that he dropped the fight, then run it back.
Right.
I think a lot of people are talking about that. They're no longer talking about Canelo. They're no longer mentioning the big names. It's run it back.
Yeah.
And that'd probably be the right thing to do.
Yeah, I really do, and hopefully they do. So now you got different promotions going together now.
Yeah.
Now you got Top Rank with PBC, with Al Heyman and so forth. So things are starting to happen finally in boxing, and I think they had to. USC is just taking over, and if you want to catch up, boxing was losing a little bit. Personally, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
And they have to start matching champion to champion, and that's what Dana White does with UFC. You have 4 fights, you can fight for the championship. And you got to catch up.
Exactly. And I'm hearing it's just a matter of months, I believe. By January, Dana White's going to put his hat into the boxing.
Yeah.
And I hear he's going to be mixing it up and maybe collaborating with Al Heyman.
That's what I hear as well. Yep.
Man, that's a dangerous combination
Yes.
right there. You got 2 driven, successful guys that don't take no for an answer. When they're given the answer, no, it cannot be done, they're already thinking in their mind, it's already done, and working on number 2.
Right. So no, it's and anything like that. It's great for boxing. Anytime you get the best fighting the
Yes.
best, or potentially the best fighting the best, that's great for boxing. And you and I and a lot of the people around here in the Valley, we love boxing. I personally don't know anybody that loves boxing more than you, but you know what? But that's you love what you have passion for it,
Yeah.
and you have passion for what you're doing here. So it's going to be nice to see all these matches that finally. We don't want to wait for 7-8 years. We don't want this to be a Pacquiao Mayweather. We want
No.
it to be now. So it's good.
Or like that rematch with Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns. It was
Right.
still okay, but I wanted to see it sooner.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
I'm right there with you, man. But you know what? I'm excited about this card. I am really excited I was excited about this card anyways, Harl. But once I found out who the co-main event it is, I mean, no offense, this can easily be a double main event. Easily. And one of your, how could I say, I don't want to say colleague, one of your stablemates, so to speak. I mean, Jenna the Gem, she's going to get another opportunity to run it right back. I mean, can you imagine that? A lot of people, they never get that rematch. Yeah. They have to wait, and sometimes there's weight differences, but you get to run it right back within that same week. Yes. I mean, that's exciting. Talk to me about when that fight was finalized.
It actually, Rich, it happened fairly quick. I believe so. Jenna's last fight was Sunday night,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned earlier, she did take the loss. And so Monday, I got a couple of calls. I made a couple of calls, and next thing you know, they said, "Hey, let's run this back," and that's where we're at, man. And like you said, it could easily be a main event, but it is going to be our co-main event. And I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see Jesus' fight as well. So we got 8 officers fighting before that, but it's going to be a good time, man. It really is one of those ones where I can't wait.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking in my head, you know what? I wonder if it's possible if they can do this again. And I'm just sitting back, and then you were already on it. And when you did, I was laughing. I was going, good. I can make this happen.
Right.
I go make it happen because we talk a lot saying, hey, make this fight, or see if you can get these 2 guys together, or what works. But this one seemed to just work, and it makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? And just like I said, it kind of just fell in my lap, and I just went with it. A couple calls here, a couple calls there, just to confirm. And Jesse got back to me and says, "Hey, let's do this." So we're very fortunate. The card's fortunate.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good.
Yeah. Some other guys I want to recognize right here. 2 of our locals, and I want to say Brian Williams, a.k.a. Coach B, a.k.a. Batman. He put his undefeated streak on the line. He took the loss Saturday in Sacramento, but the feedback I'm hearing, Ernie, is it could have gone either way. He fought in the other guy's backyard. I didn't see the exact fight, but I saw a little bit of highlights. But again, hats off to Brian, because I thought he was done, but he stepped right back in there, got himself in tremendous shape, went in there and mixed it up again.
Yeah, Brian is
Officer Brian, Lieutenant Brian,
actually
Sergeant
Brian Williams.
Sergeant Brian Williams.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
Yeah, Brian and I started at the Sheriff's Department so many years ago.
Yeah.
And so he did take the loss, and the guy that he fought has only fought in Sacramento. He's a Folsom PD officer, and he doesn't fight anywhere else but Battle of the Badges in Sacramento. So
Okay.
so Brian just
Kind of one of those where Virgil Hill only fought in his hometown. The minute he went to Vegas, he lost to Tommy Hearns.
Yep, that
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, so that's exactly a way to put it. And but speaking of Brian, he's going to be at the show.
Okay.
He's going to talk a little bit at the intermission about him giving back, because Brian gives back to the community. He's
Yes, he does.
he's a role model, and he thought he's going to have 2 belts to show.
Yeah.
He has 1 belt that he's going to bring, and but he's going to talk a little bit what it means to give back to the community he serves,
Yeah.
and how boxing is plays in that as well.
Exactly. And there's another gentleman I want to recognize. This guy made his amateur debut. Never boxed in his life. I mean, he's been fighting his whole life. He had some personal things that he went through on personal losses, and I can't help but respect Alonzo, a.k.a. About Millions. He put his hat inside the ring, and he dedicated that bout to his grandpa, which I had the honor of doing an introduction a couple years back at a Top Rank event. And hats off to that, man. And Alonzo, keep your head up, man. I don't got to tell you that, because you've been getting text messages and Instagram messages, and everybody's proud of you for just stepping in there, man. And hey, you went for it. What's your whole take on that? When you hear a regular guy like me and you says, I'm going to get myself in shape, I'm going to get myself in condition, and I'm going to go for it. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, okay, are you serious? But when I heard the cause, I was all in.
Right. Alonzo About Millions, him and I actually did my first co-promotion event about 3 years ago. And at his age and where he's at, and what I heard when he was going to do this, you have to hands down. You got to give him much respect. And I actually text him the day of and say, hey, good luck. And it takes a lot of courage to get up there, and not anybody can do it, and especially for one fight. Yeah. And like you said, I like the cause. Yeah. And he did it, man. And not too many people can. No. And my hat's out to him, and congratulations. He didn't get the win, but there's more important things than that win that night.
Exactly. Very, very well said. And I brought that up only because we started talking about the Valley. We started talking about our fighters and boxing and the love in the community for the sport of boxing. We have guys that they don't just sit down and say, okay, I love the sport. They jump in the ring. I mean, hats off. Even Brian, the very next day I heard he was in Alonzo's corner. I wasn't able to make that event, but I heard he was in Alonzo's corner. Win, lose, or draw, he still stood there and helped out his pupil.
Yeah.
So that was good stuff right there.
That's excellent.
That was good stuff right there, man. So what does the future hold for young Jesus Haro?
Yeah, I fight this Friday.
Yes, sir.
And later on this month, I got a fight in Florida.
Wow,
and,
Florida.
Yeah, in November, I have the Oxnard PAL.
Okay.
And then in December, I have the USA Nationals. And if I win that one, I will get a chance to get on the USA International travel team.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for that,
Oh, there's where it's at right there.
Yeah.
Because I was already thinking Oxnard, you're going to get a lot of looks over there, man. There's a different pedigree in Oxnard. Nothing but some hard-hitting cats up there. So they're going to be watching you, man. It's fun. When I say watching like, man, who is this kid? I came here to see him, but I'm leaving thinking of him, which is you, Jesus Haro. Yeah,
thank you. And next year, hopefully, once I turn 18, you can try and go pro.
Wait, hold on. I thought you were 21. No? Oh, okay, my bad. Ernie, you said the kid was 21, had a Corvette already, had two girlfriends, and just, living it up. Because I figured those diamonds right there, man. I'm looking at the diamonds on the teeth.
Yeah, man, I think
Money Mayweather stuff.
I think he already got signed. He's just not telling us.
No, is that what it is? So this is your last fight, and then officially you'll make the announcement?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Soon.
But hey, you got to keep us up to date, man. You got to let us know how everything's going and you progress. I talked to your dad a lot, and I kept saying different times, we got to have him on the show. We got to have him on the show. And he's probably thinking, yeah, right, Richard. I hear, how many times people, and I said, no, we got to get you on the show, my man. Yeah. But I do got a bone to pick with your dad. Dude, he's wearing that awesome shirt right there, man. Yeah. And he only has one, and he's hugging it right there. I mean, my man, that's the shirt right there, man. We got to rock that. Serious. I really don't wear a lot of different people's shirts. I really don't, but I do like that. Yeah. But he did hook me up with a hat.
Yes, we got some new ones made too. So.
Oh, that's what's up then. I'm about to rock that and support it. Yeah. Speaking of that, man, I want to give a shout out to Heartbeat Boxing in Fresno, California. Gilbert, what's up, my man? I mean, he reached out to me, Ernie, and he said, Rich, don't take this wrong. He goes, you ring announced my event 3 weeks ago. He goes, I loved what I heard. I just wasn't comfortable with what I saw. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, we got to trim you down, my man. And I go, okay. He goes, but I'm going to do something. He goes, I'm going to sponsor you 6 months in my gym. I'm going to get you in shape. And he called me that Sunday and he says, I got you, Rich. So I'm going to take that challenge and I'm going to start next Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be going in there next Tuesday and Wednesday, like I spoke to him right after the show. I'm going to be going in there, but then I'll be coming up Thursday on my own because we don't go back to Stockton until January. So I appreciate that, man. That's Heartbeat Boxing in Fresno, California. Ask for Gilbert. Tell him the Fighter's Voice sent you. So I appreciate that, my man. You know, sometimes you get those calls. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, man? But he kept it real, man, and I appreciate that.
Well, Gilbert's always going to keep it real.
No, yes, he
Yep,
is.
yep.
He is. Oh, he has a story to tell.
Oh, yeah.
He does, man. I mean, he does. He's been there, done that, cooked it, and knocked it out, and did everything else with that. Oh, and his son came up with a big W. I don't know exactly what he was competing in, but he did really well. I saw the post. I wasn't informed, but I know he won some kind of bout or some kind of tournament there.
Well, I
or
believe
some match,
he was in Columbus as well. I think
Oh,
he is
okay.
in Columbus.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, that's absolutely right. Yes,
right.
you're right. You're
He
absolutely
was
right.
actually going to be on the show, but our show, and I think the flight was going to be too late. He's coming. Our show's a Friday.
El Tigre.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, congratulations, my man. Appreciate that. Carol, the cut woman, man, she had some other obligations today, but she was crushed, literally crushed, because she wanted to be here, man. She wanted to be here, to part of this interview, part of the show, talk to you, Ernie, and just network. And she loves boxing, man. She's very passionate about it. She gives her all. She's a great co-host when it comes to boxing. And, of course, Co Escovedo on Wednesdays, the UFC veteran himself. And he's a great co-host, too. We got fire in here, man.
Yeah.
We do. You know, like in the ring when you hit those pads and you're ready. You know when you hit those pads and then your dad just walks away and says, "No, you don't need to hit them no more. You're already ready."
I'm ready.
Yeah, you're peaking there. Boom. That's when Cole comes in here and Carol, I just walk away because we're ready. We're ready. You know, we're gonna take a 2-minute intermission, man. My man KP's gonna be playing some commercials or I don't know, some sound bites because when we come back, we're gonna have the co-main event of the evening. We're gonna talk about the rematch. That's Jenna Creason. She's going to make it happen all over again, Fresno, California. I want to thank our guest, Mr. Jesus Harrell, taking time out of his busy schedule. I know you had to kind of move things around with training and stuff. Yes. Ernie, you're going to stay put?
Absolutely.
And anything you want to say to all the fans, the viewers, and all the supporters who will be there Friday to support you?
You know, everybody, hope you're ready for fireworks. Come show some support, you know, to our local law enforcement and see you guys there.
Exactly. How do we get a hold of you? What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook?
My Instagram is Jesus_Chiquito_Haro. And my Facebook, I believe, is just Jesus Haro.
Okay, I got to ask you one last question, man. What is the hottest podcast in the area?
The Fighter's Voice.
That's right, man. Gave you some time to think about it, man. But you had to think, okay, is it so-and-so or is it the Fighter's Voice? But that's a great answer. Hey, enjoy this intermission. We'll be coming right back with our next guest, Jenna Creason. She's going to make it happen.
Carol the Cut Woman here. We're out here repping the Fighter's Voice, and I'm here with my 91-year-old Pops Frank.
I'm down with the Fighter's Voice.
Thumbs up for Richie.
competition, the Fighter's Voice. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Fresno, California, Mad Production Studios. We have with us the one, the only, I want to say MMA, I want to say pancrase, I want to say Muay Thai, I want to say wrestling, I want to say grappling, I want to say kickboxing. I can go on, but this time we're saying the amateur phenom, the boxer herself, Jenna the Gym Creason. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Give me that fist bump. Boom. Hey, I want to ask you something different. How's that acting class? How's that acting? How's that drama?
Good. It was fun. I learned a lot there, also to help me in my future, in my hopefully get in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
After my UFC and stuff like that.
Oh, you can do both.
Yeah.
You can do both. And then when you're looking for a manager, we got Ernie right here, the promoter right there. Have you met Ernie Jaime?
Not yet. This is my first time.
Okay. Well, you guys will be working together more than just the first time because he likes what he sees, and so does everybody else. So I got to ask you these little questions that people have been wanting me to ask you. So I know you took it with a class act, your first loss in boxing.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine told me, he said, bro, you would never know the way she held herself, like a true professional, little smile. But I know you're human and you have that little time to yourself. Mm-hmm. You're there and you're thinking, because you reposted, man, I can't wait to run it back one day. Mm-hmm. When you get that call for an opportunity, another opportunity around the corner to run it right back, what emotions did you have inside of you?
To be honest, it was just an excitement feeling because now I have a second chance to
Absolutely.
prove that I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change what I did, but also improve myself. So I'm really excited for this fight.
There you go. Without giving away too much information, do you know exactly what you could have adjusted to, what you needed to work on?
Yeah, well, this last fight, I actually went back to my brawling and stuff like that, which the next fight is not going to be like that.
Okay.
I'm going to evolve to make sure I get this fight better. I'm going to fix my mistakes that I had last time, and it's going to have a different outcome.
I got to ask you this because this is the $1 million question. Speaking of, that's a little plug. It's about $1 million question. A little plug for Alonzo there. Who's going to be in the corner? Because I know Coach is in Ohio right now.
Yes.
So who are we going to have? Because I know I tried getting a hold of Freddie Roach. He never replied. Robert Garcia was busy.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to reach out even more. I even, put a text into Buddy McGirt. Mm-hmm. Like I said, he's kind of tied up right now.
Yeah.
Batman, he's busy and, got some things going on. He's fighting crime and what have you. Who's in the corner?
Yeah, today I actually just started working with Joey Hernandez for this fight.
Madman's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, good
So
pick.
this week he's going to work with me. Today was my first practice. I am so excited for this fight now. So.
Yeah. I like the way he has it. He's set up in his garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's homegrown, man. When I say homegrown, his feet are on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's very knowledgeable about the sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love what he was showing me today. Just a little bit of work I did with him before I came actually improved it. So I'm really excited to see how this fight goes.
That energy, it's kind of contagious. I want some of it right now. I wish the fight was today. Ernie, when you hear that excitement at such a young age, young female, coming off her first loss, man, how does that make you feel? What's going through your mind?
Man, I wish I had more time to promote it, to be honest
Yes,
with you.
yes.
But it is what it is, and just meeting her right now, I'm excited, and I'm sure the Valley, Fresno's excited.
Yeah.
Anytime someone as young as her and the other opponent as well, and especially going in 17-0, and you get your first loss, there's a lot of emotions that go through. I don't care what age you are, whether you're an amateur, whether you're a pro, there's a lot of emotions. And just like you said, Rich, she had the opportunity to run it right back. And a lot of times it could have gone there where they never fight again, you know, and she would always be wondering or something, hey, what if I did this different, or what if I did this different, Well, we're going to find out Friday at 7 o'clock. Doors open up at 6.
I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm excited about? The first time I get a chance to introduce you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be cracking.
Okay.
I got to make sure they're both even, though.
Yeah.
But you're just going to see, you're just going to feel it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to thrive off you.
I'm looking forward to that.
That energy. So will you be coming out with a walkout song, or how does that work?
I'm not sure how that's going to work. So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll give her the number. We have a DJ.
Okay.
And everybody comes out with a walkout song, and I tell them, and I got this from you, Rich. If they don't, if they don't give a walkout song, they play "Eye of the Tiger."
That's right. That's right.
And that's just the way it is. It's funny. My wife says, "Hey," and I told her this last night. We were talking about some other stuff, and she goes, "Hey." I go, if they don't come out, they play Eye of the Tiger. She's like, someone told me that your last show, they kept hearing the same song over and over. And I go, well, that's the way it is. You know, if you don't give the DJ and you know, you get a song, then that's what you get.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love your DJ too, man. I asked for a mixtape. I'm going to hit him up on that when we go back there. He's a great DJ. He's on top of things. And actually, I do want to say this, and you're going to know. You're going to realize yourself too. And we're not throwing anybody underneath the bus or the table. This is one of the most positive, professional, well-done promotions and events that you'll ever be a part of. Trust me, it'll be one of the top ones. That I will say that without, you know. I made the mistake one time when I introduced a promoter. I said the best in the business. So I will say one of the best. You got to keep it neutral because you never know who you're going to work with or who may get offended or a little butthurt because of that. And also, you want to show respect.
Yeah, of course.
But it's going to be awesome. Let me describe it this to you. It's an amateur event with a pro atmosphere. So it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Is Pops excited?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And Pops always supported, man. I mean, like, he's in the background and stuff, but he is there at every event, man, making it happen. I'm sure he was there to comfort you and counsel you after the loss. But when you got the good news and you guys shared it together, it was on. It was on and cracking, huh?
Right there, I got excited. We started working mitts right away, so just getting ready for the fight, even though Marcos was out of town.
Yeah.
So we were still adjusting, but we still got this, so.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, did some of your classmates come to any of your events at all, or do they?
Sometimes, usually locally, and then my teachers get to come and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty fun.
It is pretty fun, man. I'm going to give a plug to Bobby Salazar Salsa, man.
Yes.
I mean, my gosh, you should be like the spokesperson. I mean, everywhere you are, and you don't just say, okay, Bobby Salazar Salsa. You put a whole promo, you put a commercial, and you got 3 different actors. It's you, but you're playing different roles, man.
Yep.
I mean, that helps you, too, with your acting. Can you promote and push the fighter's voice that way, too, man? Because we need someone like that. I'm looking for someone in marketing. You may be the one because you are the gym.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Okay, we're going to make that happen. Hear that, Pops? We're going to make that happen. Right now, Rick Marine's going, no, we got to sign this, and we got to make sure this and this. Huh. It's all good, man. Everybody's supporting you. Everybody's supporting you, and you got a good foundation. You got your head on straight. And, you know, me and Ernie, we were just talking earlier how you're not ashamed of the gospel. And I like that. I really do, especially a young girl your age. You let it fly, man. And where do you get your faith from? How do you transition your faith to your athletic ability?
Well, to be honest, without him, I wouldn't be here. So I do everything through him. I always give him credit because without him, I wouldn't be able to do all this. I wouldn't get any of this. So all glory to God.
Amen to that, man. Ernie, you hear that at such a young age, man. I mean, it's just hats off.
Yeah, and it's great, man. We hear a lot of people that what they do is a lot of, especially young amateurs, they can talk and they don't. But for her at her age to come out and say, hey, Christ is number one in my life, and you know, you and I are both followers. So for us to hear that is awesome, you know. And there's that just has role model written all over it. You know?
It does. 'Cause I'll tell you, Jenna, I am a perfect mess. I am. But you know what? I try every single day to get it right. You know, and until then, man, but I know where I get my faith and my strength from. So when I hear you say that, you motivate me. You really do. You do. And I think I told your dad that one time. But I want to ask you this, man. What was Jose whispering in your ear? What advice did he give you? The 2-time unified champ. We're talking about the super lightweight champion of the world, WBC and WBO. What advice did he give you?
He was just telling me to keep pushing the jab, getting in there. He liked how I was using the jab. So it was just things along the fight of what I could improve on or what I did right, even before the fight. I really appreciate him and his wife and also Coach Mike, especially since it was so last minute. Yeah. I really appreciate that.
Shout out to Mike Hodges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that, especially since it was like super last minute. So I really want to say thank you to you guys. That was really helpful for me.
And I want to thank Rick Murray again too, because he made that possible.
Yeah.
He pulled some strings, man, and made that possible. And he has his hands full. He's put on a big event, November 9th, I believe it is, Chansey Park, and he's going to make that event happen like he always does.
Yeah.
Okay, but when he gives you some extra tickets, kind of slide me some over here, because I've been asking him for some, and I haven't got them yet, and we'll give them away on the show. Okay, see what you can do. I'll take 2. Okay, and we'll give them away on the Fighter's Voice. The only voice that matters, right?
Yeah.
So what are you going to name your podcast when you get it?
I don't know. It depends on when I get it and stuff. So I think I'll just figure it out along the way. So it'll be a secret for now.
Okay, there you go. And then you're going to unleash it, huh?
Yep.
And, I appreciate you moving things around with your training and to make this show today. I mean, I was talking to Pops earlier, and, he always makes time for the fighter's voice, man. And, when you competed in Madera, right, man, I felt so bad because I was unable to make it because I had another engagement I wanted to be at. But I heard you did really well. I was watching some of the highlights, and you were just tossing these people.
Yeah, that was a fight that I was preparing for. I went with my old coach, Marty. So he actually helped me a lot getting prepared for that fight. I really appreciate that. So that fight I was really ready for and got to do it. And so then I took the W for that one. So.
No, yes, you did. Ernie, when you hear that, man, I mean, okay, like I said, and I was going overboard, jits, pancrase, wrestling, judo, you name it, and she's involved in it and competing at a high level.
Man, I like I said earlier, it really is a privilege to have her in our show. Just all the accolades and just not only that, I really believe that you can really tell a person not when they're winning, but when that first loss or a loss. That's what they're going to see what you're made of. And you can see it. Right now. Just let's get back at it. Let's grind and let's run it back.
Yeah, you're in good spirits, man, and that energy is very, very contagious. And where do you get all that energy from?
I don't know. It just depends because that fight, it was upsetting, but now I know what I need to do to make it better. So now I know what to do to fix that and improve to keep me hungry again. So I really love that fight, even though it was kind of bad. So.
Well, like I said, you get to run it back in there, and you're going to see it at a great event. I mean, they're going to be selling T-shirts there. They're going to be selling refreshments there. I mean, the who's who are going to be there of Fresno, and there's going to be a lot of people there. Because when I posted it, there's a lot of people asking me, "Hey, how do I get tickets? How do I get tickets?" And this show is officially sold out.
Oh wow!
No, it is. It is. So when you're the co-main event, the who's going to be there when you walk inside that ring, man. And it's like a dream come true for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is in your area right here, and you get to turn it back again. I mean, wow. I wish I had a second opportunity at a lot of things, and sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. But you do, and I'm sure you're going to give it your all and make the adjustments that need to be made.
Yes, of course.
Let me ask you this real quick. When you watch UFC and when you watch boxing, at this age, because you probably go back and forth, what area do you want to go?
Ooh, so I don't know. It depends on how it's going to go. Because sometimes I'll be leaning towards UFC, but sometimes boxing. So I guess whatever my strengths are, I'm going to work on those, but also improve my weaknesses. So whichever comes first, whichever one that'll get me up there, and then I'm planning on hopefully doing both. So probably just doing a little bit of both. So
I can see that. Hey,
I'll
do
take the
both.
champion in each of them.
Don't. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Madera, California. You got to talk to Zoila again. How did that conversation go?
That was fun. They remembered me, which really made me happy.
Remember you? Why?
Because they remembered me from the fights and stuff, because I showed up to almost every single one of their fights.
And what else do they remember you on? Where did you meet Zoila?
The first time it was here. So
on what?
The Fighter's Voice.
That's right. We're just plugging that. We're just getting
Yeah.
used to that right now because she does a great job selling the salsa. So we're going to sell the hot Fighter's Voice. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
That's right. No, they're good people. I mean, have you
Yeah.
wait till you meet Zoila's mom. You're going to find out where she gets that fight from. Oh, she's no joke.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoila's mama. She has that pedigree, and of course, it branched off to both of her daughters. They're both fighting in Fresno. I believe it's in November. Combate?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Americas, and they're both on the card for the first time, I believe, as MMA. They've done, I believe, Muay Thai. So we got to make sure we get you tickets, talk to Micah Fromowitz, and get you plugged in. Like, oh, yeah, well, you already got the hookup. Every time I see you, you're right there near the cage.
Yeah.
You and Pops.
So, yeah, I really appreciate that. I love going to the fights. I'm always promoting it pretty well, especially for my Instagram and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to each of those fights. They always bring action. So
And you bring marketability, and you're easy to promote because you promote yourself. Every time you open your mouth or every time you post something, it's very eventful. I appreciate that. I'm a follower. And I was just telling Ernie, I said I went to some of the other ones, girls your age or athletes your age, and it's kind of there's a big difference there. Who gave you the advice to promote yourself, and when did it come just so natural to you? Is it something you may want to do in the future?
Well, yeah, I really love promoting myself. I love doing commercials and stuff because it also gives me a laugh. It also gets me excited. Actually, my one of my first cross training coach. She got my Instagram going and stuff like that, like got the name and stuff. But after that, I just kept it going. I enjoyed it so much. I've been doing it for a while now. So, and then I started making my cards. My first cards, I used to cut out the papers.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so the first ones, my grandpa helped me get it. So he just printed it out. I cut out the photos, pasted on there, and that's how I did it. But now I got actual, like, professionally kind of made ones. So I'm really loving
I wish I would have
this.
took a picture of that because I have your first card. I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Now I'm going to hold on to it too. Yeah, I was going to post a picture of it, so I should have sent it to our engineer over here, man, our producer ahead of time, man. And what I am going to do is we're going to take some fundraising because we need to get some AC up in here, man, because it feels like Kronk Gym in here. It does. Kronk Gym is a gym, an old school gym in Detroit that was ran by Emmanuel Stewart, the late, great Emmanuel Stewart, and he purposely put the heater on so everybody can sweat it off. And he would make and break you. If you left before the session was over, he said, don't come back. He was very hard. He was very hard and very strict. And actually, Coach B does that in his back cave.
Oh yeah, it's just hot anyway.
Yeah,
Coach B lives by me, and I've been in the back cave, and it just even if it's fall, it's hot in there still.
Yes. And those of you who don't know, we're not talking about an actual cave with Batman and Robin. We're talking about a workout facility, his own gym, his own dojo. He's making it happen, man. And, I can't give the man enough props, man. And I better stop, man, because then, I'm gonna have to send him a bill or something. But I do want to ask you this. I want to ask you a couple more questions because people have been wanting me to ask you. Carol wanted me to ask you this, but I went right in the beginning about the transition. She said it's kind of like some advice. She said there's going to be a lot of losses in your life. It's how you rebound from them, and you've done great because she watched you and your expression. She thought you won. She thought when she was seeing some of the posts or some of the other pictures until the other girl's hand was raised, and how are you able to just keep that smile and just keep that? Because a lot of people, they'll throw their gear down. You can just see it on them. Sometimes it's hard for me to hold in what I'm feeling, but I still do to this day. I give them a big smile. So how hard was that for you?
It was hard, but usually, thank you, Jesus. He helped me get through that. So by him being there with me, it helped me get through it and also give a good attitude and respectful attitude towards anyone around and my opponent. So.
There you go. Hey, Mark Davis has some great pictures of you guys. And I was watching. You guys were mixing it up, man.
Yeah.
Letting it go.
Yeah, I really love those pictures. They came out good.
Yeah, they did come out good. So let me ask you. So who are you going to sign with, man? Who's your manager? Okay, has Dana White contacted you yet?
I don't know. It depends on when I get there.
Bob Arum. I'm naming all these big wigs, man, because they want a piece. They want a piece of Jenna.
All right, it depends when I get there, whoever gets me first.
There you go. There you go. What about that girl that's punching the pole, that tree right there? She does flips and stuff. She's blindfolded and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? She's on Instagram, and she's doing some commercial stuff, and she's hitting the pads, and then her dad or her trainer has her do a flip and do all kinds of other stuff. That has nothing really to do with boxing, just kind of like I'm going to have to give you her little Instagram so you can kind of watch it, man. And I was thinking, shoot, Jenna, get her in the corner and work that body. That's what I'm talking about. So when you're not boxing, what do you like to do?
Usually go to church, do homework. I always beg my teachers for extra credit and stuff after I get homework and stuff. So it just depends on how it goes. Usually I go to church or I do extra homework if I'm not training, because that's usually what I do a lot of. So yeah, it just depends on those stuff. So
let's talk about that story where you wanted to train. Your dad said enough is enough. You're going to sit here and you're going to relax. And it was just eating you alive because you posted, you go, I guess I'm not training then. Or you said something to that effect. And I talked to Pops there. He just said, no, she needs to have a break. I wanted to give her a break. And he said there was a lot of resistance there.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of upset with him for a while because that was probably one of the worst weeks of his life. I gotta admit, I made it pretty horrible for him. So, yeah, I'm kind of speechless on that because I begged him so much to let me go to practice. I'm surprised he actually held his ground for that long.
He did. I got another question for Ernie, but I do want to talk to you about this. Didn't you go on vacation or something? You said, Dad, I'll be right back. And then you started doing stairs. You would take the elevator, but you went down with the stairs and you just started going up and down on the stairs. Yeah,
that was when I went to go to Reno. I took the boxing. It was a week before. It was 1 week of boxing, and then the week after was wrestling. I went up and down those stairs all the time. When I went up and down, the only one time to take the elevator was to bring my food up since it came with free breakfast that.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So other than that, I always use the stairs. I would go up and down like 2 or 3 times before we even get down once on the elevator. I was like pumped there. So
There you go. You know, Ernie, I say we got to lock her in now, Ernie. We got to get her on the next show, definitely before this show's even come to pass.
No, it's funny that you mentioned that because you and I were talking earlier, and we have a lot of things coming on with the No Town Throwdown 3. I can't mention it right now. A lot of signings need to be come across, but it's going to be at a venue that people enjoy. It's going to be. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and of course she can be on the next show. I mean, this
Absolutely.
is done deal.
Done deal.
So, but at No Town Throwdown 2 Friday, we'll announce everything, and 2 of the main events will actually be there. Fresno hasn't seen this in amateur yet.
Oh,
So,
wow. I'm looking forward to that, too, as
Yeah.
well. You know, a lot of people think promotions is easy because they just see the end of the day, they see the product. How tough was this promotion as compared to previous promotions that you put together?
You know what? That's a great question, Rich. Because most of the times you got to remember this is all amateur, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of this we don't take any money. Everything goes. These are fundraisers. Everything goes back to the community, And I got to give hats out to a lot of the officers because they're cops and they're taking time out of their day and to whether it's training for 2 or 3 months, they train for 2 or 3 months and then they strap it on, and they're ready to go. But when you're dealing with law enforcement and a lot of the sponsors, we get a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
And for this show here, we got 2 major, huge sponsors.
Let's recognize them. Who are they?
Okay, it's Mr. Bill Smitkamp from Wawona Foods.
Okay.
He stepped up, had a meeting with him, and he actually said, once I said law enforcement, once I said giving back, once I said fundraiser, he says write him a check, and not only this time, next time. Don't
Wow.
And another one is I have to mention is Onacar. Onacar they're another one that really stepped up big time. Lotus, Kevin Altman, he actually stepped up. So the day of the show, I'm gonna have to do a lot of thank yous because it's a team effort. But you know what, a lot of people when you mention the law enforcement, they're ready to say, hey, you know what, I want to give back. I want to give this to the show.
Well, it's a great cause, and not only that, it's also going to benefit cancer this time for some research, or where's that exactly
that's going
going
to go to breast cancer awareness.
Awareness,
Yeah,
okay.
and there's different outlets here, but it's breast cancer where it's obviously October and it is
Right,
breast cancer
yes,
awareness week month, and we're doing that, and we're doing this is our gym just opened up first time.
Let's talk about the gym.
Yeah. So what happened is we are Fresno County Public Safety Association, and Larry, the president, wanted to have their own gym for the members. And it's never happened before in California, and the old Dungeon MMA.
Yes.
So we're there. Art used to be there.
Yes.
And it came available.
Peraza.
Yeah, it came available, and Larry says, you know what, I want to give back to our members, and that's what now we have a gym. So not only these guys can fight crime, do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Now after they can it's open 24/7, so they can train and do what they
wow.
need. Yep.
Larry, I need some kind of membership, my man. I mean, when I'm here, I need to go because sometimes I'm not out fighting crime, but I'm not committing crime either. I just need to go and whine sometimes. See that rhyme right there? I just need to get in there and just, make it happen, man. We'll go in there and just shoot. Go in there and have some fun, Ernie.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm waiting for the invite, man.
I know.
I'm going in there. Jenna, did you get an invite? I didn't get an invite.
nope.
Jenna's dad, did you get an invite? KP, did you get an invite? Man, okay. Is that on the next one?
Yeah,
or what
that's
are
on
we
the
doing
next
here?
one.
Okay,
and
that's
then
on the next one.
I'm going to tell Larry too. I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
'cause like I said, Larry's supposed to be here, but he's in a meeting. He started a meeting at 12, and
Larry's like Al Heyman.
Yes.
They just heard of him.
Yep.
As if to say, ignore that man behind the curtain.
Right,
Like Oz, the
Right,
wizard.
right.
That's Larry. Except we're trying to find, instead of the yellow brick road, we're trying to find, the law brick road to get to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been Larry and I was working on this show for this whole summer, and I know for a fact I'm still trying to find if he had a day off this summer because he's still an officer and I'm retired, but he's still an officer and he still puts he's a president of the association, so he gets pulled a lot of different ways.
I can imagine.
And it's not only the fundraisers which I'm in charge of, but it's other things that are some sometimes more important than the fundraising.
Okay. Well, don't say that too loud, because after the show, your phone is going to blow up completely.
Right.
Completely. Let's just have some fun. What are some of the contacts that have made and said, "Hey, can you help out in this area?"
Yeah.
I mean, has it been as far as like, can you pay my rent, or can you help me on a certain thing, or what are some of the good causes then?
You know what?
That you contributed
we
in?
started a few years ago. There was an officer that was helping underprivileged kids for Christmas in Carruthers.
Yeah.
Right. In Carruthers. So he went literally. He started this on his own even before he became a sheriff's officer. In December, giving kids, maybe he would buy $200-300 worth of toys and give it to them.
Wow.
He'll announce it. Well, Larry got a hold of this. In Larry fashion, he actually took a U-Haul to Los Angeles in the toy district, filled that up, came back, and said, "Let's have a good time." So
Wow.
yeah, so that's one of the things that stands out. But we also, we give out boxing scholarships.
Yeah.
And the last time we did, we got a lot of, hey, we didn't get any, and it goes. And Larry doesn't like the limelight at all. Like you said, kind of like the LA.
Yeah.
And he'll just say, give him a check. And he's, like I said, it's hard to find someone that wants to give back to the community. Not only that, and he serves, but the community that he lives as well.
No, that's good. That's some awesome stuff right there. I know you were helping out with the homeless or something during Christmas. You helped serving, or you were doing something. I remember I caught some of it, and you were I was contributing, I was donating your time, and that's something you really love to do, because I can see the passion in it.
Yeah, I love every year when Relay for Life comes, I always go and help out there, because my cousin, she's with a business that always goes and stuff, so I always go help out with the event. So I do that, and then sometimes I'll give food to the homeless, things like that, besides like recycling and all that stuff. So I'm really love being involved with the community. Also, besides like the sports and everything I do, I enjoy doing that. So that's one thing I'm going to keep doing for like ever.
No, there you go. And yeah, I know Jose was doing something in Avenal, giving away turkeys or something during Thanksgiving or something to that effect, or maybe it was Christmas. And when I hear these athletes giving back, or that can really make the time to do it, it's just, man, it's heartwarming, and it's a class act. Because there's a lot of people, it's just, time is very valuable nowadays. So when people do give their time, I mean, hats off for that.
Yeah, of course.
So what is one of the goals that you'd like to do? Once you make it and once you're there, what would you like to do? How would you like to give back?
It would just depend on like what's going on there, because I know like over time a lot of things change. So I know for sure help with cancer and stuff, because I know some in my family has cancer and stuff like that. And it's hard dealing with that. So probably help out with that. I love the KO cancer fight.
Yeah.
That was an amazing event. I would really like to do that when I get big and stuff. So things like that, just things that are big during that time when I'm up there.
No, that's good, and that's a good outlook, and that's sounds awesome that you're willing, and I'm sure you will be there, and you will be the face of that drive and that campaign. Speaking of campaign, Bobby, how do you pronounce Bobby's last name?
Bleatude.
Bleatude?
Yes, Bobby Bleatude.
Like his tooth is bleeding?
Yes.
See, this on the Fighter's Voice, hey, it only goes right. So when's the campaign? I know it's in, when is it, March, or when is that?
It's already started.
It already started. Do we have a sign so we can post it up there?
I will get it right now.
Okay, because I want to endorse that, man. I mean, it's a good cause. I mean, the guy has a tremendous heart, and I want you to sit down with him one day, and Ernie too, man. But this guy, he's someone like Larry, but not quite. I mean, you can always find him here, But like Larry, I'm sure we're gonna see him Friday. Of course, he's gonna be there. And when I first met Larry, I didn't even know it was Larry. I didn't even know who the guy was. He was just a nice guy. I was going, who is this nice guy? I'm so looking forward to Friday, because after the event's all said and done, then I get to people watch. Jenna, I love to people watch, and I'm always calling Ernie on the weekends and saying, hey, what did you do? And we'll kind of share what we did, and we love to people watch. To me, it's relaxing. It's like my therapy. It's like therapeutic for me.
Okay.
No, it is. You know how everybody finds their serenity?
Yeah.
Actually, mine is on the microphone. It really is. It really is. One day we'll sit down, Jenna, and I'll tell my story, and you'll find out exactly why I do what I do, and we'll pick some brains around, because put our heads together, because we always talk about cancer, which is awesome. We always talk about different awarenesses, but one thing I do want to put my cause into is substance abuse. And I really want to drive and give my whole corazón, that means my whole heart and energy for that. But one day there'll be an opening for that, and then I'll be one of the pioneers, because I'll be pushing that, man, nonstop. I'll be like Jerry Lewis. You don't know who Jerry Lewis is, but he did a cause 24/7. Was it 3 days, or how was it?
3 days, Labor Day weekend.
3 days. And he was just campaign, and he just gave it his all. And that's something I'm willing to do. And that's something that I'm only bringing it up because we started talking about causes. That's something that I'm not saying we overlook it, but let's not dismiss it. Because I don't think addicts wake up and say, today I want to itch for what that drug may be. And drugs come in different shape of fashions. They may come in overeating. They may come in overworking. They may come in just being angry, or they may just come in a disease area. So I don't want to overlook that. And, enough about that. But there's where my heart's at. And one day I'm going to say, hey, Jenna, I need you to help me out. I'm going to say, Ernie, I need you to help me out. Everybody in Fresno, California, I need you to help me out. So one day, that day's coming soon, better sooner than later.
Okay.
Hey, it's not about it's all about helping people.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we helped you get that rematch. Give it up right here. I can't wait, man. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
So are you one of those like, okay, I wore these shoes last time, so I'm not going to wear these shoes this time? Or I'm going to try this time, or I'm going to wear this glove, or...
Kind of. I like a certain routine and stuff like that.
That's what I was trying to get at.
During the fight, I might change some things to make my fight go better for me.
Mm-hmm.
So might be a few things changing, but not in like routine before or something. Probably during the fight changing. So
okay, well, just know you know what, it's going to be a great fight.
Yes,
it
is.
It really is. It really is. And hey, if you have not got your tickets, it's probably too late. If you know somebody, make those calls to see if you know somebody. You may have to pay a little extra because somebody already got them. But I'll tell you what, the Fighter's Voice would be giving out 4 tickets. That's 4 tickets. First of all, I want the best question. The best question about the Fighter's Voice. Tell me how it got started. Tell me what you think about the show. Good, bad, or sad. The best one, I'm going to give out a pair of tickets. And also, the next pair I'm going to give out to, I got to think of something, man. Something. You know what? I may give them out in tomorrow's show. That'll be fair. Tomorrow I'll give a pair out today on what you think about the Fighter's Voice. Tomorrow I'm going to give out another pair because we got a great show for you tomorrow. Co-host with the most, the UFC veteran himself, be back in studio, and we'll give out another pair. Does that sound pretty good, Ernie?
No, that sounds great, man. That sounds great. Thank you for having us. Actually.
No problem. So real quick, what can the fans expect come Friday night?
Man, you know what? Excitement. You know, that's the best word I can say because just listening to her, just listening to Haros before, and it's an amateur show, but they're going to come out think it's a pro show. You know, the only thing at the end is I shake these hands, and in pro show you got to write a check, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So, but no, I can't wait. It's going to be the No Town Throwdown too is going to be great.
What's going to be there? What are we selling? What's there to eat? What's there to drink?
Okay, so it's going to be a full taco truck. It's going to be a beer garden. It's going to be we have right now our biggest vendors, 10 vendors.
Wow.
The most sponsors we've ever had. I called the sellout about 10 this morning, about 11 this afternoon.
Right.
And my phone has been blowing up really. And I told people, I said, hey, get your tickets. This is because all our shows, you know this, Rich.
Yes.
I'm not trying to pat my back, but all our shows are sold out. You know, and so it's just a good atmosphere. You know, and I'm retired now, but Larry, when he goes back to work, there's like, man, when's the next one? Really? When's the next one?
I remember you shared that with me.
Yeah. So that's where we're at, and we're excited.
Yeah. How do we follow you, and what do we expect once you walk through those ropes this Friday?
You can follow me on Instagram under Jenna the Gem and Facebook under Jenna Creason. And this Friday, for this fight, expect a good fight. It's going to happen. So hope to see you there.
There it is there. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Richard Ortiz, the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. Tomorrow we got a great show for you today. Tomorrow, rather. We have a great show today, but tomorrow we're going to have an awesome show as well. We're going to give out another pair of tickets. And I do want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, when you're there at the show and you're there, gather it all in. Leave with a shirt, leave with the taco truck's going to be there with some refreshments, and better yet, leave with a good time. Because I will say this show does not drag on. You can go to the show and have a nightcap right after. We're in and out. We take care of business. We don't rush anybody, but we're on task. There is no lull in the action because there's nothing but action. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. That's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Remember, everybody has a voice, and so do you. It's a wrap here in Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest.
So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.